So the planning sheet. This is something that you'll use with some of your assignments. It's a strategic plan. It gives a background, research, key public target market, messaging, channel, and the outcome you want. It kind of sets up that roadmap from point A to point B. So the public relations situation. What is the campaign or single item for? Is it to increase membership for the Albino Squirrel Preservation Society? Is it the promotion of a new bar? Fundraising campaign for supplies to the miniature therapy horses. 2, the second thing that you're going to want on there. Key publics. Who are you trying to reach? Max 3 key publics ever. Briefly identify their major characteristics, their needs, their wants, their interests. The core news, keep it brief, 140 characters. Sum up the newsworthiness of the message. Use a benefit statement. Be concise, be clear. What's the one thing you want your publics to remember? How can the organization satisfy key publics' needs, wants, or interests? So think fabulous when you're talking about key benefits. So fabulous when we're talking about a sleeping bag. Fabulous, or FAB, stands for features, attributes, and benefits. So if talking about a sleeping bag, the feature or factor characteristics is it has 1 inch thick insulation layer. Well, that's nice, but what does that really mean to me as a camper? Well, what does the feature do? It retains body heats on cold night. All right, well, I like that idea. But why does a sleeping bag specifically benefit me? It's why the benefit and the thing that you always want to focus on when talking to your publics is the benefit. Why should somebody value the product or service? Because when you're camping, you'll have a nice warm sleep so you wake up well rested, ready for a full day of activities. That's why that 1 inch insulation layer is important to me, the consumer. Another example of this is a bicycle seat. This guy created this great new bicycle seat that has a spring in it and makes for a more cushiony ride. Well, the spring in it's the feature. The attribute makes for a more cushiony ride. But what's the benefit? Your rear doesn't hurt after bicycling for 2 hours. And that's what people really care about. So number 5 in your planning sheet is tone of message. The feeling invoked by the message. Is it happy, sad, logical, etc.? And 6, intended outcomes. What's the intended outcome for your writing? To inform students about the Albino Squirrel Preservation Society, to educate people about albino squirrels, or to encourage people to join the Albino Squirrel Preservation Society. And then number 7, it's the call to action. What action do you want your key publics to make? 8, what's the readability range? Who are you talking to? What are their reading habits? What grade level are you writing to? If you're writing a newsletter for the university faculty, you're probably writing to a different grade level than you would be if you're writing a newsletter that's going out to the Albino Squirrel Preservation Society students. So 9 steps to effective writing. Keep in mind, plan your writing. Use a planning sheet. Use those 8 things and write 1 and put the information there. 2, put the information there so that you have an idea of where you're going. Do research to know what you're doing, what you're writing about, who you're writing for. Organize. You can never go wrong starting with an outline. It can only improve your writing. Drafts. Review and revise. Polish, proofread, get approvals from the people that you would get approvals from in your organization, and then publish. So, terms to keep in mind and remember from this week: fabulous, or FAB. Features, attributes, and benefits. The benefits is what makes your product fabulous. Strategic plan and planning sheet, key publics, what your core message is, the tone of the message, intended outcomes for what it is that you're writing, an action statement or call to action, and the 9 steps of effective writing. So there's a writing assignment on Blackboard. So you want to look at the copy editing symbols. I still know a lot of places that use this still print out physical copies. It's good to know what they are. Because I'm grading everything on the computer, I no longer use these, but sometimes I do go in and draw and use some of these symbols. So that's a sheet that you should look at, familiarize yourself with a little bit. You may or may not see some of those things when I proof your work. So the thing I really wanted to talk about for this week's assignment on Blackboard, you've got your news summary, pretty straightforward. This editing exercise, and just want to warn you that it's a really hard editing exercise. Use your AP Style Guide, whether you're using your physical version or an online version, that's up to you. In some way denote the edits that you made by using a different color, or edit by hand and scan or photo, make a copy of it, and drop it into Dropbox here. I just want to note the highest score I've ever seen on this is a 50%, so it is a really hard assignment. There's a lot of mistakes, so good luck on that, and that is one of the things to just help get you familiar with the AP Style Guide and using that, and things to look out for and things to watch for that maybe you didn't realize before.